hip area toward the center of the table. Because it's easy for me to position. So basically what I do when I get the patient ready, I get my table ready, and then I put my bucky in the center of the table, and I try lining everything in the center of the table. It's a lot easier for me to work. And it's kind of, go to the toward the end that way. Sit up further. Keep going. And lay down. Put your pillow down. No, come on. Hey, come before me a little bit. And then lay down. No, this way. Come on, this way. Okay. All right, very good. You see how it's over here? And then you're gonna move the tube over here. Move this all the way down here. You're gonna move this all the way down. I like to put everything in the center. It's a lot easier for me to work. So come toward me. Come slide down this way a little bit. Get down, then lay down. All right. Okay, so we're gonna get him a working height. Everything's on tabletop. So when we're gonna do the AP hip first. We're gonna do 2 view hip. Hip's gonna be 2 views all the time. All right. Now, it can be done in a 10 by 12, but a lot of people they like to do it in 11 by 14, but I like to do it in 10 by 12. Because I'm a professional there. So everything's all lined up. Gotta make sure my bucky's lined up. I'm all lined up and I'm ready to go. I'll make sure I'm detented. And I'm ready to work. Okay? So again, we're gonna do the right hip. Okay? So again, like in the book says, you don't want to do this and palpitate and people make the patient uncomfortable. So again, we taught you how to do line sight, right? So what we do, we have this. Is it okay? Can I bend your knee? So bend your knee. Look, there's my crease right there. I know that's where my femoral neck's going to be, right? Mm-hmm. And I know it's going to be between these 2 angles. So just sightline it. I know that it's going to be here because my line's going to be matching up with the center of the femur. Put my leg down. See, I'm there already. Now I have to do is turn my foot in 5 degrees, right? Because I have to get the greater trochanter on top of the profile. And plus, my cassette should be at the iliac crest, about 1 inch above the iliac crest. So I'm right about a 1/2 inch above or 1 inch above the iliac crest. So the top of this cassette is going to be about 1.5 inches to 1 inch above the iliac crest. And that's how I know I'm there. See, look. It's a little bit too low. Okay, now I'm there. See that? See, I didn't move the table, I didn't move the tube, I didn't move the bucky, I didn't move the tube, I just moved the table. So put my leg down, turn my foot in 5 degrees. My cassette, top of my IR is what? Here's the iliac crest. Do you concur is about 1 inch above? Do you concur? Yeah, it's about 1 inch above, the crest. There's my AP. There's my AP hip. Okay?
You can put the marker on top or...
Yeah, who's got a marker? Who's got a marker?
There you go.
14 by 10 by 12. Marker right there. Where my marker's gonna go? Or you can put your marker right here.
Right.
Yeah. That's fine. I can do that. I don't want to see you guys do this.
Yeah, you need to disinfect that.
Yeah. But you can put it here if you want to. That's fine. Or you can put it right here on the cassette. That's cool right there too.
Okay.
All right, so I'm gonna leave this right here.
Okay.
So hold still, don't move, expose. There's my first shot. Now we're gonna change cassette. Sir, can you bend your knee up? And put your foot right towards your hip, and then you're gonna drop your leg down. And there's my frog leg. I'm already there already. I didn't have to move the patient around, right? All I had to do is just now this, right? Right? I'm there. And if I want to be fancy, I can change my cassette, but I'm not going to be fancy. I'm just going to leave it like it is.
Okay.
I'm just going to leave it like it is. Put my marker right here. Now, where's the 45-degree sponge?
Great.
The foot sponge right there. Decrease OID. See the OID right here? You guys see that OID right here?
Yes.
Right here? See that? In order to decrease that, they want us to do this now. You can roll toward me. Roll back.
Oh.
Now the hips
wow.
not see that? The OID's gone, right? But now you just have to adjust a little bit. You gotta move it just about 1 inch over. Okay? Or can you slide over just a tad a little bit? Right there? See how I'm just moving him?
Okay.
I'm right there now. I didn't move this. I didn't move that. Just move it in. Now I'm still centered, right? And then now my OID is decreased. See how the OID is decreased? See, you can take the foot, lay back down. See that?
Yeah.
There's OID right here. Right?
So is this frog leg considered lateral?
That's a lateral. It's your lateral hip. Roll toward me. Okay.
Or comping out, you want to leave the sponge?
There's no OID. So if you do the difference with the pelvis versus the femur is that we're rolling the hip over for the lateral view. So if you forget to put your sponge and decrease OID, that's a fail. You're going, well, Mr. Roland's the same thing as the femur. No, it's not. Okay, they're two different things. However, if you really want to see a good lateral femur, then you would want to do this as well too. Right? So if you really want to impress me.
It's okay to show in this.
Yeah, that was just once. You're lucky. I'm just joking. No, you did a good job. You did a good job. So, normally if it's a this is called a unilateral. Uni, one side. And then we can cover that side of the hip. Right there, there's your gonadal shield. Okay? Bilateral is both hips. Okay, so for instance, the doctor wanted to order a bilateral hip. So how to do a bilateral? Do I have to do it like this? Do I have to do one side and do the other side?
Big cassette.
Bigger
On the front.
cassette.
Or can I do it at the same time?
Yeah, it's
Yeah, you can do it at the same time. So what you do, this is where the pelvis comes in now. So our doctor ordered a bilateral hip, so you can put your legs straight together, you lay flat on your back. Okay, now I'm gonna do a 14 by 17. Is that?
Just want the sponge.
Yeah, take this one. So when I do a bilateral hip, it's gonna be landscape. Find the center of the cassette right here. Lock it. Make sure I'm lined up. So, what are the rule of engagement? First, we have to feel for the top of the crest. May I touch the top of the crest, please? Here's the top of the crest, okay? Top of my crest is right here, right? I sweep over, here's the ASIS right here. Here's the ASIS. Top of the crest, I sweep over, here's my ASIS.
Bless you.
Bless you!
Salud.
Okay. So here's my ASIS, right?
Don't use that for
Watch this. Here's my ASIS. So I push my this. I'm center, right? I'm centered down the patient's body. Here's my ASIS. 14 by 17. Toes pointing in. Okay. My cassette is going to be what? Here's my iliac crest. About an inch above the iliac crest. Okay. Here's my bilateral hip. Toes are pointing in. See that? But I can't use a shield to cover the patient. But for males, I can do this, toes in. I can do that.
So if the patient does have a fracture, we would just
I wouldn't do that.
as is, right?
Right, I would shoot it as is. Because if the patient had a fracture, they wouldn't do this.
Yeah.
It's impossible. They wouldn't do this. They can't turn their foot in because their femoral neck is broken. It's jacked. So the natural inclination for them is going to be like this. And you have to shoot it like that. Okay. So if they have a fractured hip, you have to shoot like. My marker. Hold still. Don't move. Expose. Right. You can breathe. All right. So now I switch cassettes. Go ahead and bend both knees together as high as you can. Put your feet together like this. All right. Go ahead and butterfly legs. Spread your legs apart. And then usually when I do this, all right, guys, relax, chill out. Usually when I do this, I have a blanket. I have a blanket right here. I get a linen cloth or a linen. Is there linen over there? Or is there linen up there?
No, right there on the bottom. Behind you on the bottom.
There's the linen right there. All right between the patient's legs like this. And I really didn't have to move anything, right? Because I already did my AP. I just told the patient to put their legs up and spread their legs apart. And then I'm already centered. Okay. Can you open your legs just a bit? There you go. Feet together. There's our bilateral lateral hips. Bilateral lateral hips. Hold still, don't move, expose. And then put your legs together and bring your legs down. So that's how I do it. So if I'm doing a female, male, I always put a sheet between them and then have them do that. Because you don't want to do it while they're exposed. It's uncomfortable. You know, they feel uncomfortable. You may not think they're uncomfortable, they are really uncomfortable. So you have to really think about the patient's feelings when you're doing this, okay? A fracture. So we're gonna go on Nora's question about what happened if a patient had a fracture in the left hip and we can't do a lateral frog leg. So we have to do a trauma view, all right? So what we do, and I'm gonna step over here. We're gonna get a 10 by 12 and we're gonna slide this under the patient's fist like this, okay? We're gonna angle this in a way. And then we're gonna slide our cassette over here. This is called the Danilus Miller. We call this we call it the Danilus Miller. And when I was learning at Harvard UCLA, we would do about 100 of these a day. And we had, because in trauma, because they're trauma. And people come in with fractured hips, and this is the first thing I had to learn was to do a cross-table lateral on a hip. So we would do is we get a 10 by 12, we get a cassette holder, and the edge of the cassette would be right on top of the iliac crest. So we would position the top of the cassette right at the iliac crest. And then what we do is that this is the fractured leg, so we're not going to touch this, right? But you notice that the cassette's angled this way because we're going to get the long view of the femur, the femoral neck. So with the crotch view. So what we do with the other leg, you can bend the leg up like this, and we're going to have him keep it bent up, keep your leg up like this, and lay down, and just try to hold your leg up like that. Okay. All right. So we have some. Normally we would have a stand. Watch yourself. We aim for the crotch just like this. Collimate for the size of the cassette.
So we're just aiming for roll, and there's like no angle, just aim for that general area. For
The tube. See this angle right here? Has to match the angle of the cassette. It has to match it. Because if you don't match it up, you're gonna foreshorten the view. So you notice that the central ray is right at the crotch. See that?
Yes.
And I put my marker right up here. And then there's my cross table hip for someone who has a fracture on the left hip.
No, he said it's just going to be in a lysil.
Well,
From his side.
you can't tell. The only way you can tell is to turn the tube in a way where this damn thing.
Are we confident in this?
Angle this, it should be parallel. So the tube, this should be parallel with the cassette. And it's very hard to do that. Because this machine's, see this angle right here? Has to match the angle of the cassette. So the only way you can see it is come over here and match